Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing great this lovely morning. It's just now starting to get daylight here. As you can see, it's a little on the cool side yet, and I want to be dressed warm. So I decided I'll do another walking scope this morning. People like when I do my walking scopes. Get out, get fresh air, getting out in nature, seeing what there is out there. Of course, all the trees are bare now. The prettiest time of year is when the leaves are changing before they fall off the trees. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming in. I'm going to ask for a share. Let me do this right now. I'm going to ask for a share. Hold on. Okay, I can stop because I can. There we go. And I'm going to share this up on Facebook and Twitter as well, because I feel as people that don't normally watch me can watch me on Twitter. I have my daughter's sister-in-law likes to watch me on Twitter. She could see me. She could go in there on Twitter and watch my replays, which I think is a great thing. There we go. Now I got it all done. Okay. Thank you for sharing it out. Thank you for being here. My thought for the day is, don't ever give up, no matter what your situation might be. Whether you're having hardships or things are going good or whatever, or if you got a family situation that you think is hopeless, that you're never going to have a good relationship with your loved one, don't give up. Just keep praying for that person. I know I was talking to Erlene yesterday in her when she messaged me, and she's got a sister that wants nothing to do with her. She's completely alienated herself from her because Erlene is a Seventh-day Adventist. And that's so sad. She's tried to communicate with her sister. She's tried to talk to her, try to make friends with her, and she refuses to have anything to do with her. We are going to... Oh, cool. Our families aren't perfect. We can't choose our families. None of us can choose our families. But we hope and pray that the families that we do have will eventually accept us for who we are, no matter what. And sometimes it's not always the way it is. They find fault with you for one reason or another. They never want to see you again. It's sad. I don't have that situation right now. Things could be better, but thank you. Things could be better with my family situation. I am divorced, but we do talk as ex-husband and wife. I mean, we talk. We get along better now than we did when we were married. Go figure. Anyway, no matter what your situation might be, just don't give up. Don't give up on anybody. Don't even give up on yourself. I know some people have a tendency to give up on themselves. Things don't go good, then they're ready to commit suicide. They're ready to throw in the towel and say, I can't take this anymore. Nothing's working out for me. I don't know if anything ever going to work out. That's because they're not giving themselves a chance. They're feeling that God has abandoned them. Their families abandoned them. So therefore they don't have any hope. So they have nothing. They feel they have nothing. So they'll go and commit suicide, which we know is on the rise. There's a lot of people committing suicide nowadays, and it's really sad when that happens. I don't like to see that. So far in my family, I never had that. But if anybody's had that in their families, I feel sorry for you, because there's more to life than just committing suicide. Life is what you make it. If you don't make anything good come out of your life, you're not going to have a good situation at all. Life is what you make it. I have a lot of trials and tribulations in my life, but I try to make the most of them. True. I try to make the most out of the situation I'm in. The situation I'm in isn't the greatest in the world, because I have a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot more than most people have. And it seems like they get they get worse and worse. I get over one and then another one pops up. But that's just the way it is. Things are going to be that way. But I don't give up. I keep right on going. So, in my cooking scopes, if something doesn't work out, I don't throw in the towel. No snow. We're supposed to get some on Christmas, though, in night. So no snow right now. We've had some rain, so that's why it's wet on the ground. Well, you can't see because I'm not showing the ground today. I'm just showing me. But anyway, there's been a time when I thought, is life really worth it? Is it worth going on? But I've come to realization, something? It is. I've got family that love me and care for me, and they wouldn't want me to do anything drastic, because I felt that life wasn't worth living. We all have problems. We all have situations that seem hopeless, but we just have to go to the Lord in prayer about them and ask God to help us with our problems and help us with our family situations. There's many of us I know that are in grave family situations. I've seen some posts on Facebook that they need prayer. They don't explain what the situation is, but there seems like things are going bad each and every day. Well, that's good morning. Good to see you. That's the enemy. The enemy will do anything he can to destroy any of us. So if he can make your situation bad, he's going to do it. And he's happy to do it. We just have to let the old devil have it with the old heave-ho and say, you're not going to get the best of me. I'm going to continue in the way I am, and if he doesn't like it, that's too bad. He tries to do everything he can to take us down. He's done that to me many times. He'll come along and say, well, you're not worth anything. That's the problem. A lot of people will commit suicide because they feel that their life it doesn't have any meaning. They're worthless. Nobody cares about them. But that's only because the devil's putting that in their head. The devil's making them think they're not they're useless, they're not really worth anything, and they're better off dead than they are alive. That's why some people are the way they are. They commit suicide because they just don't feel that there's any hope anymore. The worst suicides I've heard about lately are these ones that are being bullied. At school, most of them, they're being bullied by someone at school, and they get to the point where they can't take it anymore. So what do? They'll take a gun to school and they'll go into the restroom. I heard one a while back went to the restroom and killed himself in the restroom because he'd been bullied. It is very, very sad when that happens. We as parents, and we have young children, we need to watch out for them at all times and make sure that they're protected. And I think that in some aspects, parents need to check their children's book bags before they go to school in the morning, make sure they haven't got something in there they should not have. Kids take drugs to school. They get kicked out of school because of drugs. They take their guns. It's getting really, really sad. They're giving up on life, and they're giving up on hope of ever having a perfect life. Of course, nobody's perfect now. Our lives aren't perfect anyway, but they've given up all hope of ever having a meaningful life. So they feel, well, the only way out is to kill themselves. I'm here to say that's not the only way out. That's not the way out at all. We got to continue keeping on, because without God in our lives and without praying to God, we're nowhere. We ask God to help us in all situations, no matter what the situation might be. Of course, He may not answer just the particular way we want Him to, but He will answer. He answers in the way He feels is best for us. He has done it on my behalf already too. I mean, I didn't always get the answer that I was seeking, but in the end, it was the best answer that He had for me at the time. We can't see the end from the beginning like He can. So we think that, when He answers our prayer, He's going to give us everything we need. The problem of it is, some people will ask for things that they don't really need. They're selfish. That's right. His answers are on time. And they're the answers that are best for us at the time. We just don't see it. And as time goes on, then we begin to realize, well, God was right. He knew exactly what we needed. He knows what each and every one of us needs. We may think that we know more than God does, and we think that, well, He's not going to answer me. My daughter felt that way sometimes too, that God wasn't answering her prayer. I said, but he is. He's answering your prayer, but just not in the way that you think he's answering your prayer, and hi, good to see you. So we're all our prayers are being answered in one form or another. It's just a little bit different than we're thinking it is, but our prayers are being answered. God is taking care of each and every one of us. He takes care of us throughout the day. He takes care of me at night when I go to bed. He wakes me up every morning. And thank the Lord that he woke me up again this morning, because we could go to bed and not wake up some morning. Well, we never know when that's going to be. So we have to make the most of each and every day that we have, because we don't know when it'll be our last. We need to be sure that we stay true to God, stay in his word, and thank the Lord in all adversities. I know that's the hard thing to do, is praise God in your adversities. But we have to pray and praise him for all the bad things that are happening. Oh, sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'll be praying for you. Oh, that's, was it expected, or was it unexpected, or was he sick? Because, that's a sad thing. Sometimes even if it's expected, it's still hard to take. I have to stop. She has to go. It's still hard to take. You never know from one day to the next. Oh, praise the Lord. That is the best news ever. Yes. He was ready to go then. He was saved and ready to go. Sorry, I'm picking this up. That's good that he was saved. I love to hear that, that he didn't have to worry, and we all can, same thing. We don't have to worry. If we're saved, we know that we're saved. If something would happen to us, that we're going to go to heaven when Jesus comes. And I'm glad to hear that he was saved. Was he sick, or what happened? She's got to go again some more. Was he sick, or what happened? Because I guess it really doesn't matter. But, God knew it was his time. So he, something? He took him at the right time, Took him at the right time, because things are getting really bad. And I'm not one of these to want to be in bad situations, but we know that there's a time coming when things are going to really be grave. Persecution is going to happen, and we have to stand up to the persecutors. And can we do that? That's very difficult. We have to be willing to stand up for our persecutors and stand up for what we know to be right. It's going to be really hard. That day's a-coming. I think about it all the time. And I tell the Lord, I says, well, Lord, if I can't make it through it. Oh, he was found unresponsive. Oh, he may have died in his sleep or whatever, but at least I will say one thing. He went peacefully. So that's the best thing. I always say that if I want to die, I want to die in my sleep, or I want to die peacefully. I don't want to have to suffer, because there's way too much suffering going on, no matter what it would be, whether it's cancer, people being in pain. Oh my goodness, an earthquake. I heard about that. I saw that on Facebook this morning. I hope and never pray that everybody that's in Tennessee is okay, because we know that the Bible talks about earthquakes in diverse places. We can get them here in Oregon too. We have tremors now and again, but they're very minute, because I don't think we're real close to the fault line. There's a fault line in Portland, and I'm in Eugene, which is 125 miles away. I'm not saying it can't come down to where I'm at, but we have had tremors. I'd be sitting at the computer doing something, and all of a sudden I feel my chair shaking, and I see the computer shaking, and I'm thinking, whoa, there's a tremor. So we have to be prepared for stuff like that. It can happen. The Bible talks about it. I just hope and pray that everybody's houses are okay, and that they're okay, and they didn't get caught up in it, because that's bad. And all those floods in California. You're welcome. All those floods in California were another thing, something totally unexpected. Look how many people there has lost their homes in Paradise. An awful lot of people lost their homes. Never expected that to happen. And animals are being displaced. They're finding animals that got displaced. It's so sad. But we know that's going to happen. We have to be prepared for it. You know, we never know when a disaster is going to strike. But we have to be ready for it at all cost. You know, I'm hoping and praying that I never get into a disaster, but you never know. You know, disasters can just strike anyone, anywhere, and any time. You're not immune from a disaster. So we have to be prepared for that. Earthquakes, floods, famines, pestilence, whatever it might be. There in Venezuela, they're suffering so much with pestilence, famine. It's horrible. We just got to keep those people in prayer. But I'm just hoping and praying that they're not giving up. Life is too short. Droughts, floods, fires, you're right. Oh, that is a good thought. Absolutely. Right. People don't realize that the things that are happening in this world are happening because people are dead spiritually. And they need to come to the knowledge of the truth. And they need to wake up spiritually. So God will permit something to happen to awaken them out of their sleep, so-called. They're in a sleep. And they don't realize what's going on around them. So He does this, He brings this on them to wake them up. And I'm hoping that it does help, that it wakes people up. And they realize that the condition that they're in. Now we know not everybody's going to be awakened spiritually from something like that, They're going to blame God. They blame God for everything. They say, well, why did God allow this to happen? Why did He take my son or my daughter or my husband or my wife or brother, sister, or whatever? Why did He allow it to happen? I tell them it's because you need to come to Him. He's doing it to wake people up. But people just don't see that. And sometimes it takes a situation like that to wake them up. And other times they could give a care less. They don't feel that God really exists. They blame God for everything. So therefore, since they blame God for it, they don't want to come. They don't want to accept Him because they don't want to accept a God that's going to murder kids, take people's lives in floods and famines and stuff like that. They just don't understand. It's the devil. It's because of sin that things are happening like they are. The devil is out there trying to destroy this world. He's going to take everybody down with him as fast as he can. He knows our vulnerabilities. He knows our weaknesses. And he's going to prey on our weaknesses. It's very, very sad, but he will. He's going to prey on our weaknesses. And he's going to get us right where he wants us. And the problem of it is he's taken a lot of people down that way. He's gotten them. He's tempted them into sinning. He's gotten them where they're weak. And they've fallen for it. We can't allow that to happen. We can't allow the devil to take us down. We have to say, no, devil, you get away from me. I'm not going to allow you to take me down spiritually. Because that's what he wants to do. If he can get you down spiritually, he's got you right where he wants you. And the problem of it is, a lot of times you can't come back from it. He takes you down so far that you stay down and you can't come back up. So we have to be careful of that. So we have to be no jumping, no jumping, no. Sorry, my dogs are trying to jump on somebody. So we have to be careful. We have to be aware of our surroundings at all times. We have to be aware of what the devil can do, because he's out there as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. I don't want him devouring anybody. I don't want him devouring me. I don't want him devouring you. But he will do it if you're not aware of what's happening. When you become vulnerable, when things happen to us, to our family members, that's where he comes and preys on us the most. And he knows that we're in a vulnerable state because we're really upset at what happened to our family members or whatever, what happened to our situation. So that's when he comes in and really makes us feel really low. He lets us know that we're not worth a darn. God doesn't love us. So why do you trust in a God that doesn't love you? That's what he likes to make people think. And unfortunately, a lot of people feel that way. They say, well, God allowed this to happen, so he doesn't love me. And it's not true. That's right. Yes, you can live in the world, but be separate from the world. You're not to do what the world does. We're not to live like the world. And that's hard for some people to do because they get involved with everything under the sun that is worldly, like your entertainment, you know, a lot of TV, video games that really aren't worth anything, violence. They get involved with that and they don't realize the ramifications. You can't allow that to take over your life. You have to put Jesus first and foremost in your life. Hi, Alexis. Good to see you. You have to put Jesus first and foremost in your life and not allow these other things to take over and come in and change your mind, because that's what happens. This entertainment, no matter what it might be, is something that takes people's minds away from God, gets us involved with things that we should not be involved with, and we throw God to the corner. And then when things go wrong, then we pray to God and say, oh, yes, you know, I need you, God. And the sad thing of it is, people will only do it when things go wrong. That's the only time they'll come to God and ask for help. They won't pray to him any other time, only when they need something from him. You don't do that. We need God at all times, not just times that are bad. You know, we need him at 24/7. He wants us to come to him. He wants us to be there. He wants us to ask for help no matter what. I pray to him no matter what. Good times as well as bad. The bad times can be pretty rough sometimes, but I thank him for it. And I just say, well, praise the Lord for what I've gone through. Because, you know, sometimes what you've gone through, good will come out of it. Something good will happen. And you say, oh, my goodness, good did come out of that situation anyway. Not always, but good can come out of that situation that you've been put into. And sometimes a lot of the situations that people are in, it's because of their own choosing. Not because God put them in that situation, it's because they chose that situation for themselves. God doesn't want us to be in bad situations, but sometimes it happens. And when we get into them, he allows us to stay in those situations to wake us up, to remind us that we need him. You know, we need to come to him each and every day and not sit back and be lackadaisical and say, well, you know, I'm fine. I don't need God. You know, he's not going to take care of me anyway, and he's not going to help me anyway. That's what the mindset of most people are. We can't allow that to happen. So I say we can't give up. Don't give up on God. Don't give up on anything. Don't give up on life, because life is too precious. It's way too important to give up on it. We have to live each and every day like it's our last. We don't know how much more time we've got yet, so we have to take each day and live it to the fullest, no matter what we might do, whether we do Bible studies or we read the Bible or whatever we do. We need to live the life to the fullest and put God first. Don't put your entertainment first. Put God first. Pray like nobody's business, and keep praying and asking God to help you. Whatever your situation might be, he'll help you with that situation. He'll help you through it. He will take you from that situation and take you through it. He won't take you out of it, but he will take you through it. You know, a lot of people think that, oh, well, God put me through this situation. He's going to get me out of it. No, he won't. He'll take you through it. You know, just like the Israelites in Egypt. He didn't take them out of the situation they were in with the last plagues. He took them through it. And he will do the same thing for us at the end times. He's going to take us through it. He's not going to take us out of it. So we all have to remember that. And we have to be ready for that, because it's coming upon us very, very shortly. I don't know exactly when, but the times are getting very ripe for the National Sunday Law. So we have to be prepared for that to come, because if we're not, we're going to be caught unawares. You know, it is a little scary in some aspects, because you don't know if you're going to, you know, God's going to lay you to rest, or you're going to have to go through it. But I just pray that if I have to go through it, that God will lead me all the way, that he will protect me, that he will be there for me. He said our bread and water would be sure, and it will be. Oh, I'm going to turn the camera around because there's some... No. I'm going to turn my camera around because there's ducks ahead of me. There's a flock of ducks. Now, hey! No. And I'm going to turn my camera. No. You can barely see them. I got up there to them yet. But they're just flying off. See, there they go. That was a flock of... Yep, it was a flock of ducks. My dogs wanted to see them. Yeah, they got kind of crazy. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I know. And that's the first time I've ever seen a flock of ducks like that. I thought they looked like a flock of ducks when I was walking back. Hi, Richard. Good to see you. I was having a thought today about not giving up, because people have a tendency to give up on life, and they shouldn't. They should keep going. Hi, good to see you. I'm going to turn my camera back around. People have a tendency to give up on life, thinking that, life has no meaning, And I'm here to tell you that life is meaningful. When you have God in your life, you have everything. If you don't have God, you have nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Because we have nothing without God. I say that each and every day. I am so thankful that He woke me up this morning. He gave me another day of life. I'm going to be 71 in January. And He's given me 70 years of life. Pretty soon it'll be 71. And I'm so thankful for that. I don't know how many more years I have, but I'm thankful for each and every one He's given me. We have to be thankful to the Lord each and every day for what He's given us, because we never know from one day to the next how long we've got on this earth. And we have to be prepared for everything that life hands us. I'm at my mailbox trying to get the dog's leashes so I don't drop them. I don't want that. Anyway, we have to be prepared for whatever life hands us. Sorry if I got out of focus there. It's hard. We have to be prepared for whatever life hands us, because God is here for us, and we just have to be prepared for whatever comes. And if something serious comes in your life, a trial, thank Him for it, and say, God, thank you for the trial, because something good will come out of that trial. Very much so. So I'm going to go in my house now. So I want to thank y'all for coming in, and just be sure and watch the replay. And y'all have a great day. Take care. And I will come back on later with the cooking smoke. So until that time, take care. God bless. Bye-bye. And love you all. Bye-bye.